Interesting news over the weekend just gone. The Bank of England, one of the main people in the Bank of England, one of the chief economists there, one of the people on the Monetary Policy Committee there, has said that further interest rate hikes could damage the economy unnecessarily and we should be looking to proceed with caution. So does that mean that potentially interest rate hikes are over? Well, let's talk about that in this video and see where we feel that things may end up, because this is a little bit more positive than we were expecting, particularly with inflation predicted to go back up in September. So let's talk about that and more. But before we jump into the video, as always, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. Also, if you could very quickly smash the like button, guys, that really helps with the YouTube algorithm. I know you guys don't like me asking, but I've tested it with and without. And if you like that video, it will help us get more views. So please take a moment to do that. So what's going on? Well, Hugh Pill is one of the main guys at the Bank of England, and he was speaking in South Africa over the weekend. And what he's saying is that we need to start looking and proceeding with caution. We made a video on the channel this weekend about this, where we were saying what we really need to worry about is, have we tightened enough already? You see, what most experts believe is that when you do an interest rate rise, it can take up to a year to really feed into the economy before you can start seeing the impact from that. Now, we've just gone ahead and gone up 14 times in a row and not really waited at any point to see what impact that's actually going to have. Now, I've spoken on this channel a few times and said what's happening is landlords are predicting where their mortgage rates are going to go. Some are coming off deals at the moment. Their interest rates are going up. Their mortgage payments have doubled or tripled in some cases. And all that's really happening is they're passing those interest rate rises onto their tenants. And the problem with that is that rents are going up at crazy rates at the moment. And rents are calculated in inflation. Mortgage payments aren't, but rents are one of the considerations when we look at the inflation data. So making the interest rates go up, pushing the mortgages up, is kind of pushing inflation up. And from my perception, my belief is that higher rents are more damaging to people than higher grocery bills or energy bills. You see, look, if your food bill goes up significantly, you can adjust, right? So you could go and buy from a cheaper supermarket. If you shop in Marks and Spencer's, you could go to Aldi, or you could change your diet slightly. Or there are ways that you can get around it, right? That is possible. You could get cheaper brands, for example. However, with your rent, you can't shop around because all rents have gone up. And those rents are going up significantly, and that's a bigger chunk of your money each month than your energy bill and your food and drink bill, right? And so that rent increase is more likely to stick for a prolonged period of time. So I feel that the rental increases are going to damage people way, way more than food inflation and energy inflation. And so we need to be looking at policies, the government need to be looking at policies on what can they do to support people. What could they potentially do to support landlords? Now, landlords, you may watch this and think they're not a victim of this, but record amounts of landlords are leaving. We get comments sometimes on the channel. These videos pop up to all sorts of people, and people will watch it and they'll say, well, landlords knew what they were getting into. Who cares if the landlords leave the market? Well, what actually happens when a landlord leaves the market is, what normally would happen is a rented property generally has more people living there than a residential property that somebody owns, meaning the rooms are more likely to be used up. So what would happen is, if you had a 3-bedroom house, for example, if someone was renting that property, they would probably have kids in all the rooms, or parents, or someone else would be renting those additional bedrooms in that property, right? But when you buy a property, people are more likely who own the property to have a spare bedroom. So they're more likely to have less people statistically living in an owner-occupied property. So not only do you lose one property off the market, off the rental market, you're actually putting more pressure because potentially you now need two properties to house the people that would have rented that property. And that's where we're getting a big problem here. And I think that this Hugh guy is onto something. And what's interesting, I think, when we got the Bank of England interest rate meeting this month, is I think that we will potentially go up. I think we'll go up 0.25% this time. But I think that the vote will be more split than ever. And that will be really interesting. I think this meeting is going to be more important to read the notes, see what they're talking about behind the scenes, because I think it really indicates where we might end up. And so inflation is expected to go back up this month, which isn't great. And so the Bank of England have to be seen to doing something. But I kind of feel that they've done enough already. I think time will just let this play out. I think what the government should be doing is looking at policies. I can't see any policy. Like, if I've asked this before, can anyone point me to a policy that's active right now that helps deal with inflation? I can't see one. We did have the energy cap. That's now gone, right? That's gone. In Spain, they reduced VAT on food. Yes, a lot of our supermarket food doesn't have it, but restaurant food does. They've also made it so public transport, the cost got significantly reduced on that. And they stopped the energy companies profiteering off of this as well. And they got their inflation down to 1.9%. It's slightly gone up now because of energy prices, but it is way better than where we're sitting right now. And so I think that the government needs to do something because we're in a housing crisis. I think landlords are doing good stuff to help people and support people, but I can see this getting even worse. What do you think about all of this? Do you think that the Bank of England has any chance of pausing the interest rate rises this month? Do comment below, let me know your thoughts on that. I'd love to know that. Do smash the like button, guys. That really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And now's the time to start looking for deals. You guys want cheaper deals in the market. Well, we've created a program called The Fundamentals of Property Investing. And this week, just this week, it's on sale. It's £19 as a one-time payment. And so I'm going to link below so you can grab that program, The Fundamentals of Property Investing. It's got more than 90 training videos on how to find deals, how to get them below market value, how to set up yourself to be a successful investor, companies and stuff like that. All of this stuff for 19 quid. So go and check that out as well while you're here. Do check out all the other content on my channel, including this video right here.